I left the hospital and drove back to the apartment Terry and I had shared. My apartment. When I got there, the secretary from Capitol Records answered the door, my door. She said, "You can't come in. You don't live here anymore. You've got to go where you live now." I was shocked. I felt my rage rising. I said, "Excuse me, this is where Terry lives. I'm his wife." "Who are you?" She told me she was Ev Kivam, and she was now Terry's girlfriend. I said, "Oh, really? Terry's girlfriend. Okay. Thank you, then." I left my own apartment and rented a house in Pacific Palisades because Terry and I were now not. Terry and I always saw eye to eye musically, but not in other ways. There was a breakdown in our relationship. It was my fault. I broke it down doing drugs, running wild, doing things that were a no-no. The final straw was when I slept with Warren, but Terry didn't know that yet. I rented this beautiful house at 65 Amalfi Drive in Pacific Palisades. It was a completely empty mansion. My friend Bonnie was in real estate and was trying to sell it. Until then, she said, I could rent it. I went right back to doing coke. I was whacked out on blow when I moved in. All I had was a bag of blow, a bag of weed, and 50 cords of wood I ordered for the huge fireplace. No furniture, just pillows on the floor. The next day, I ordered a black grand piano for the living room. Then I set up a ping pong table. That was it. I would get takeout food, raviolis from Maria's Italian kitchen, sit in front of the fire in the fireplace. I moved my friend Linda Lee in. One of the Menendez brothers was coming over with the blow. I don't remember if it was Lyle or Eric. Whichever one it was, he was screwing my girlfriend Linda. I gave her half a wing on the house. Years later, when I saw the Menendez brothers on TV for killing their parents, I was shocked. The one I knew was nice and kind. Sure, he brought coke to us, but so what? Dougie also had his own wing of the house. We were all in this house together. It was a fantastic mess. Ping pong, fireplace going, cocaine. I was so out of it, I thought. Everything will be all right now. Terry and Warren and I will go in and make the record. I'll live here. Terry will live on his own. It's fine. But it wasn't fine. Everything was breaking apart, including me. I leased a black BMW to match my black grand piano. A month later, the air conditioning in the car died. I got crazy and drove it back to the dealership. I was coked up. I said, "Listen, dude, the air conditioning is not working. I'm sweating my ass off. You take this back and give me the white two-door 733i in the window." He told me I would lose 60 grand if I did that. I did not care. I was so demanding, so belligerent, and full of myself that they swapped out the cars then and there. I signed, got them the money, and bam, it was done. I drove the new white car home, and then it hit me. Oh no, the car was white. It did not match my piano, which was black. I told Dougie to get on the phone immediately and get a white piano. He stood up to me and said, "You are losing your mind. You are doing too much blow, changing the cars, changing the pianos, wasting all this money." I told him it would be fine. I was dazed in my dream world. The label wanted hits. They brought in legendary chic bass player turned producer Bernard Edwards to get what they wanted. The band recorded all the songs without me except the lyrics. We had written all the songs already while on tour supporting the last record. Terry, Warren, and Patrick had laid down all the tracks. Chuck Wilde had moved on. Terry and Warren kept pressuring me to come in and record the lyrics. Okay, tomorrow. A handful of tomorrows went by when I finally went into the studio and I sang the whole record. Every song. And Terry said, "I don't like it. I don't like it." I said, "Excuse me?" He barked, "Yeah." Sing it again. Re-sing the entire record? I had been singing for days. My throat was shot. I walked out of the studio. A few days later, I went out and hired a vocal coach from Seth Riggs' office. He was the guy who trained Michael Jackson. He sent a female coach, and she came in the studio with me to show me how to sing what and where. I sang the whole thing again with Bernard Edwards. He was so kind. Terry wasn't there that day. When the band started, Terry and Warren and I had a deal. All three of us had to agree. If two of us loved a song and the other did not, we didn't do the song. 3 yeses or not at all. I redid all the vocal tracks, and later that day, Terry and Warren okayed it. And we went on, but it wasn't the same. We were not getting along. They wanted to reinvent me. They wanted to put me back in the hospital. They wanted to control my life. They wanted to make me into this Joan of Arc chick to burn at the stake. We were all in a meeting with the president of Capitol and our big-time manager, and I said, I can't do this anymore. I have to leave. They wouldn't believe me. I told them, I'm not going to be what you want me to be anymore. None of this. I'm out. Terry was screaming, you can't quit missing persons. You can't do this to me. He didn't understand I wasn't doing it to him. I was doing it to save me. I was dead inside. Fuck missing persons. They were a little flipped out with me, but I had had it. I said, you're not listening to me. I'm done. I got up to storm out of the room. Before I left, I turned to Terry and said, your biggest problem, Terry, is that your best friend right there. I pointed to Warren. I fucked him in New York. Are you happy now? How do you like him? Do you want him to go to detox? Everybody happy now? Now everybody hates me. Bye. And I walked out. The band ended. Terry and I ended. It all ended. At that moment, I remembered something Frank had said to me about Warren and Terry when we were first starting out. In private, he said, one day Terry and Warren will be very jealous of you. You are the center of all this, so it will happen. He told me I was irreplaceable. They were not. Legally, I couldn't leave the band. Yet. We had several shows left to do. We were scheduled to play the Palace, which was a large club across the street from Capitol Records. 2 sold-out shows. The night before the first show, our semi-truck, which was packed with all our equipment, was stolen. All Warren's new guitars. Terry's unique drums. They called me at 4:30 in the morning to tell me all the equipment was gone. We had to throw together a bunch of rented equipment and play the show. No one talked to each other in the dressing room. No one looked at each other on stage. After it was over, we all went in different directions. I was out of my mind. I was living somewhere else. Terry was living somewhere else. Warren was too. We had gone from living in the same building, cutting up sub sandwiches into 3 pieces. We were the 3 musketeers, always together. We loved and cared and shared everything. And I blew it. I blew it wide open. I couldn't take their control of me. I wanted my freedom. I didn't want to be there anymore. I hurt everyone. I was hurt. I did everything I was obligated to do. The band called a rehearsal and I came in and looked around. My rage was rising. The same rage I felt at Hef's. The rage I felt before I fell out the window. I looked around at Terry and Warren and some other people I didn't even know, and I snapped. I yelled, hey all you guys, I quit. I fucking quit. Goodbye. You got that. They finally understood I was not kidding. I turned around and my final words were, fuck you, clowns. After Missing Persons broke up, Frank got funny about things. He had Terry and I come back together to play a husband and wife on the album, Thing Fish. That was a daring album to be sure. On it, I am literally fucking a briefcase. Readers, please don't be embarrassed when I tell you these things. Don't blush. It was a bit of an acting job, like a movie star who must kiss someone they have just met. I was part of the plot. I could do anything Frank asked because I was daring. Anything except get back with Terry. Frank wanted that. During those sessions, he asked, "Why don't you and Terry get back together and start a family?" I had to explain to him that was never going to happen. Frank told me, "You can fix that." I explained to him that it was not up to me anymore.